Welcome to another Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. My guest today is Jim Corcoran, JC. He co-founded and served as president of VegMichigan. He is a retired fire captain, paramedic, training officer, and is certified in the living foods lifestyle. He has been leading life-altering programs on health and the environment for over 20 years. His presentations empower people to make informed and lasting changes in their lives. JC founded Santa Fe Vegan and co-founded VegFund, an international organization which helps vegan activists spread the word through food and other means. Additionally, he co-authored Plant Peace Daily, everyday outreach for people who care. Stick around. I want to introduce him to you. Hi, JC. How are you?
Good, Nancy, and how are you today?
I'm doing very well. A little early,
Good.
but good. As we can see from your background, it's a little early in the morning.
It is early in the morning, but it's starting to lighten up already.
I'm a morning person anyway, so to me, it's all good.
Good. Yeah, I'm a bit of an early morning person myself.
So, what I'd like to ask you to begin with your journey into veganism.
Wow. Well, this happened over 35 years ago.
Wow.
Um, I read the book Diet for a New America by John Robbins, and that was my wake-up call. I was just kind of shocked by all the information that was shared in his book. And I thought that I was well informed until I got to his book and read it. And then I started questioning about everything that I was learning. And I learned that our government was corrupt in the food nutrition area, and that meat, dairy, eggs, fish, all of these industries had a tremendous amount of influence on what we got from the government about nutrition. So now I just follow the facts, and one of the best sources for that is nutritionfacts.org. So that was pretty much basically where I came from over almost well over half my life ago now.
Wow. And so you started the Michigan Veg group, did you not?
Yes, VegMichigan. I started it. Let's see, I think it was '99. So they're 23 years and they're going really strong. They've got 4 paid staff members now, and they're doing some fabulous outreach in Michigan and even beyond. So I'm
And
really pleased with that.
and you also started or co-started VegFund?
Right. We started that, let's see, that would be about 12 years ago in that vicinity, or 13 years ago. And yeah, it's an international outreach organization, vegfund.org. You can go and check it out. And it's to help vegan activists fund their outreach. And they're doing great. They have several $1 million annual budget, so it's doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And also you co-authored Plant Peace Daily.
Plant Peace Daily, everyday outreach for people who care, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later.
Okay, awesome. So in other words, you are truly a very valued member of our vegan society because you have started all these great opportunities and that still are here and ready to rock and roll.
Well, I don't know all about all that, but I'm very pleased with how things have turned out for me and in my life.
And then here, so you're in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and here you are on the board of the Animal Protections of New Mexico board.
I'm on the board of directors of Animal Protection Voters, which is the legislative arm of Animal Protection of New Mexico. And it's a great organization. We've changed laws to help animals throughout the state. Like, for instance, the spay-neuter bill. Now all of the industries that provide pet foods are paying a a premium amount of money to the state, and now that's funding spay and neuter programs. We stopped the shooting of animals for entertainment and for, yes, a coyote killing contest. We also stopped trapping on public lands in New Mexico, and we're doing many more other things that we have on our table right now. So we're very pleased with what's been accomplished.
And so this is what I believe is what some may not realize is that these are the things that we need to support and get more involved with, because if we don't change the laws, we could just sit back and eat vegan food, but really it's not helping. I mean, it's helping the animals, but really changing laws and helping people and educating people until the cruelty that exists right now, that I'm sure that if they're exposed to the truth, they would not want to participate in that.
Exactly. And everyone has a compassionate heart. They just need to be able to express that in ways in their lives that they're not doing right now.
Right. And so we need in every state, in every country, in every city, people who are willing to do what you talk about, daily activism. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do. Uh, like, for instance, we have about 60,000 dogs that are euthanized in New Mexico every year. And mostly it's because they can't find homes for them. And so one of the best ways to do that is to stop breeders. And breeders love to advertise on Craigslist because it's free and they reach a lot of people with it. But that platform does not allow for animals to be sold on it. And so if you go to their listings and flag them, there's a little flag at the top that you can touch and it'll flag it. If a half a dozen people do that, then that posting will come down because it's Craigslist is aware of the fact that they're breaking the rules then. And if you do that on a daily basis, and there's lots of flaggers out there, so you can be part of it. And it's wonderful to see that many of them get taken down almost immediately, because once they're taken down once, it takes fewer people to flag them to bring them down. So it's a great activity, and you can help animals just by doing that. Help these animals who are in these shelters find homes.
So this one is, so everybody goes to Craigslist and they see an animal for sale there, they flag it, and all we need is 4 people, and it would take that ad down. Is that what you're saying?
Thereabouts, as far as the numbers go. And if you've got an account with Craigslist, which many people do, you can actually set up an alert, and you can put puppies in the listing, and you'll be able to stop these puppy mills and backyard breeders from being able to publish on Craigslist platform. And it's a great little activity that everyone can do. It only takes about 5 minutes in the mornings, and you help the animals just that by sitting back in your computer.
And again, if people are looking for animals as companions in their home, shelters are full of animals that need help.
Absolutely. And if you want a particular breed, you can find them in shelters as well. You just have to find a breed, and there are some websites that actually help specific breeds being rescued. So,
right. So then the shelters or the rescues are a place for people to go.
Exactly. And those dogs are typically some of the best dogs because they've seen the worst of humans. And when they find a loving home, they are grateful, and they'll spend their entire lives being grateful to you.
Awesome. Okay, so that's one thing we could do daily.
Yes.
What other activities can we do?
Well, there's so many different things that we can do. In fact, that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about our book. The book is called Plant Peace Daily: Everyday Outreach for People Who Care. It's a short book with large font, and it's available on Craigslist. I'm sorry, on Amazon, Kindle, and it's actually available on our website, plantpeacedaily.org, in a PDF form. So you can read it for free if you want to. It doesn't cost that much on Kindle, but it gives you tons and tons of ideas on what you can do. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to be, you can do it from your computer in many cases, or you can really get active. If you've got some writing skills, writing letters to the editor are one of the best things that you can do, because you get to craft your ideas, send them to the editor, and it gets published, and thousands and thousands of people read it. And so you can influence your entire community with simple letters to the editor. It's such an effective way to do things.
Not only that, but if you send a letter to the editor, like you said, it reaches a lot of people, and it's there in a public forum where people could see, hey, they're talking about this animal abuse, like the rodeo, for example. I know that your partner Ray wrote a letter, and it was published in the Santa Fe New Mexican newspaper, and it was a great letter talking about, the cruelty that exists in rodeos. And it actually inspired me to give a speech on that in my Toastmasters class. And
Wonderful.
and people came up to me afterwards and said, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think
True.
about it that way.
Yeah.
So
Most of us are like that. We don't realize, you don't recognize the cruelty necessarily until it brought presented to us in a different way. Then we realize what's going on.
right, like myself, I went vegan for the animals, but I never thought about the package that I bought in the store to bring to the refrigerator. I didn't see the poor cow's face or the calf or the chicken or the pig. I just saw this nice little neat package. And then, so when you see the actual cruelty that's going on, and I saw that and I finally connected those dots, I was like horrified at the fact that I've been supporting that for so many years.
Well, that's how we were all raised, and we tend to accept things that we were brought up with until we actually take a look at them much closer, and then we realize, well, there's so many things that harms the animals, it harms the environment, it even harms our health. So once people start beginning to examine their food choices, then they'll make good decisions.
Exactly. Exactly. I just think about how do we inspire people to write letters, sign petitions, show
Mm-hmm.
up for events that are vegan minded, because even if it's not like a food thing, that learning and hearing other people talk about different things about veganism really helps us when we're talking to others. And it helps to educate us, inspire us, and, be able to relay those messages forward.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's important. Even the smallest things on a daily basis really lifts you up and helps you to, it just makes you feel better that you're doing something in the world to make a difference. And we can all do that. It doesn't take much, and it's such a wonderful thing to have, to be able to do in our lives.
And then some people will say, well, I don't want to get into an argument with somebody. Well, the thing is, you don't have to get into an argument with anyone. You could just say your truth and, and leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so,
I have a great link um, maybe you can post it down below when we're done here, on how to be a better vegan advocate and talking with people. So you can help you can learn some strategies on what to do and when to do it, kind of thing.
Right. Because the other days I was talking to somebody and they said, oh, that rude person. I don't like that rude person. And they were talking about, and the lady was going, his name is Gary, Gary Yurovsky, And I was like, that's one of my heroes, because what people don't understand is that everyone does not respond the same to the messages being said.
Exactly.
And I truly believe that everyone who's out there in the manner that they're advocating for veganism is needed for that very reason.
Mm-hmm. On a personal basis, it's better that you make connections with the individuals that you're talking with, family or friends, and you don't be accusatory, because you were in that same position at one time in your life.
Right.
What you want to do is open a conversation about it and not be accusatory at all. And once you do that, they're much more open to your ideas.
True. And also changing the way we speak.
Yes.
And the things that we say and how we say them.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like somebody says, oh, yes, I used to be a flesh eater. And they'll go, what? Well, that's actually what meat is.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had this one lady come up and says, ever since you said that, I can't eat meat. And I'm like, it's flesh. It's the
It's the reality.
And when we change those things, then it brings an awareness to the other person, because they don't realize it. Like you said, it's a reality, and they're just passing right through it. So that's one of the things that I believe is true. And also, like when they say, oh, let's kill two birds with one stone, let's change those things as well. The PETA thing is, let's feed two birds with a scone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So being careful how we use what was considered normal little, things that you could, little quips that you can put out there, to being more careful of what we're saying.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. And it does, like you say, awaken the other people's realization that what they've been saying is really kind of cruel.
Right. So any more advice that you could give us on how to be a better vegan every day, a better vegan activist?
Well, most of us, or a lot of us, they're maybe have a subscription to magazines, or they can access vegan literature, and you can take that around to your doctor's office, or drop them off even in the grocery store on an aisle, on one of the shelves, and people will pick it up and they'll take it home and read it. But one of the things that I like to do is I enjoy going. Every weekend we go and look at garage sales, and I'll take literature along with me, and I'll just leave it on the table. And for sure that the people who are holding the garage sale, they're bored to tears a lot of the time, because they're waiting for people to come by, or they've, so they'll pick up the literature and read it, or somebody else who's come there will pick up the literature and read it as well. So it's opportunities. You just look for opportunities, and then take advantage of it.
Yeah. When I go to a doctor's office, I'll bring a magazine, and then I'll just leave it on the table with the rest of the magazines, something like that.
Exactly.
Because like you said, it's opportunities. I just look for any opportunity that I can to go ahead and promote veganism.
Exactly. And there's so many opportunities that you just have to start looking for them and be aware of them and take advantage of it.
Right, because we are the only advertisement that veganism gets. We're not in the media. we're not in the newspapers for the most part. Every now and then they'll show a little vegan recipe or something like that, but they don't do articles on why rodeos are cruel, or how not to buy from breeders. So we are our own advertisement.
Absolutely.
And if we
We're
don't
the,
and if we
the
don't do it, then no one would know the information.
right. We're the voice of the voiceless.
There you go. So now we people can sign up, go to Animal Protection of New Mexico, and they have a newsletter, and they have also
Oh, yes.
information on how to eat plant-based, and even a guide of where to get plant-based foods in different restaurants around New Mexico.
Yep. Yeah, animalprotectionnewmexico.org, and they can get all of that kind of information for local eateries and how to get connected in
And
local.
and they will bring us information that is going on, legislature that's going on with regards to animals, that people can participate, have a call to action, and they can be informed there and kept up to date.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. So I will put links when it comes to this show being produced, so that people can get information to
Good.
go to Plant Peace Daily, to go to Animal Protection, and so on.
Wonderful. That's so terrific. Thank you so much, Nancy. It's great. It's great talking with you all the time. I appreciate what you do. You devote a lot of time and effort to our cause, and this is one of the most important causes in the world.
Yes, it is, because it affects the animals, the planet, and our health. People don't get that. So, yeah.
Yes.
And you are truly a pillar of veganism here in our community. So thank you for all that you do. Surely appreciate that. I know I appreciate all the support you've given me. So I thank you.
Thank you.
And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye, Nancy. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Thank you for joining us on another Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember, check out our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.